Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Huntsville podcast, the show that's all about the people, places, and the stories that make this city an amazing place. I'm your host, Carl Thomas, your favorite realtor, singer-songwriter, and all-around Huntsville cheerleader. Each week, we'll be shining a light on the community heroes who make this city tick, having some fun along the way, and sharing a few real estate tips when you least expect it. So whether you've lived in Huntsville your whole life or you're just thinking about calling Huntsville your new home, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Huntsville podcast. We are so excited. Every time we do the show, we seem to find more and more impressive people to hang out with us and talk with us about the things they're doing in our city and our area. And if you can tell, the Big Huntsville, there's my finger, the Big Huntsville podcast, you can tell that we focus on Huntsville because we are called Huntsville, but we also focus on the Tennessee Valley. So we're crossing the lines a lot of times. So we've got a big area to cover to find these people that you may or may not know. And today we have found one that I'm very excited to talk about. Her name is Beth Haynes. She is the Executive Director of Christmas Charities Year Round, CCYR, we call it. It's a nonprofit serving the Madison County, Alabama area. Under her leadership, CCYR provides essential services like clothing, school supplies, medical equipment, and holiday gifts to local families in need, enhancing community well-being year-round. Hi, Beth. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Beth plays a strong glasses game just like I do, and I appreciate that. It's like looking in a mirror if I got really lucky and won the lottery and did some facial stuff. Beth, so tell us a little bit about the impact that CCYR or Christmas Charities has in our areas. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So the cool thing about our organization is we were started in 1949. So this is our 76th year. So we are getting to see generations of people helped throughout the years. So we'll see, we have an employee here. She's worked here for 28 years, and her mother brought her here as a child. And then her grandmother brought her here when her grandmother worked and volunteered here. And now she's been with us for 28 years. So it's absolutely incredible to see stories like that. We'll have big groups come in and volunteer. We had one last year. It was a management training group at a local company, and 3 of their employees had received services from us as children.
Oh, wow.
And that's incredible to see. And now they're making a great living. They have great benefits. You know, they've done all this stuff, but at some point they know what it was like to come to Christmas Charities and get help. They know that feeling.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
amazing.
so wonderful to see that generations later, how the impact that it's having on their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you know, I actually I was very blessed growing up. However, we did go through a lot of financial troubles, and I remember times when a local church brought food to our house or something like that would happen. And as a kid, in the innocence that you have as a kid, a lot of times you don't realize the struggle your parents are dealing with to keep the family going. And I think it's really special to fast forward as an adult and remember those things and appreciate it from a different point of view. And your folks seem to have remembered it so much that they now work for the organization. So that's really cool. That's awesome. So do you have like a story, something that was just a major impactful event that has happened during your time? Maybe you can share with us to kind of give an example of the things that you guys are doing and what you've been a part of.
Absolutely. So we had a client come in that needed a piece of medical equipment.
Okay.
And it was expensive. And even with insurance, it was really expensive. And, you know, we have this random, I feel like it's random because it doesn't really match everything else, but it's called Waste Not. The name's not really helpful, but it's durable medical equipment. And it's regardless of income or health insurance status. And anybody can come in. They can send their neighbor, somebody from church, the client can come in, their social worker, whoever can come in and get it. And they needed a Hoyer lift, and they can be around $5,000, and they're big and they're hard to move. And they came in, they sent a family member with a van to come pick it up for them, and really used it to help them get around and lift lift assistance and things like that, because you can't call the fire department every day that you need
Yeah.
lift assistance. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of help to have. And through that, they asked, this program's technically a loan program, but we don't call everybody saying, hey, come back, and bring it back. But they asked if they could donate it to another organization. And we're absolutely. So that piece of
Wow.
equipment has gone on to help somebody else. And when they were sharing how thankful they were for all the help they've had during their surgery and their get well, it got out to one of their friends, about our program. And their daughter had recently passed away, and she had a very expensive wheelchair. And they brought that wheelchair to us that we can now provide to somebody else that has mobility issues, that may not be able to afford a wheelchair. That's a 5-figure number, that may not have, even after insurance and deductible. So now we have this piece of equipment that's going to change somebody's life.
Oh, that's incredible. That is so cool. Well, I have crossed over into the glorious 40s, and what
Same.
happens, what happens when you hit this age is that if you're lucky, your parents start aging out. They start getting into that point whenever they have mobility issues and things like that. And I personally dealt with that, and I know that there's just so much stress in worrying over your family and over things like that that you can't control. And just to know that there's a group of people out there that have nothing to gain from helping folks like that is pretty incredible. That is why
Mhm.
you're on the show. That is absolutely love in action, is that you would care that somebody needs that kind of help. And there's just not a lot of easy to access help out there when it comes to that kind of thing.
And we're very mission minded on things, and we want to break down as many barriers as possible. What can we do to help you get what you need?
Yeah.
That's our goal every time. And if you get what you need, we're happy. It's
Wow.
not about hitting numbers and goals in that way. If we can serve the client and get them the help they need, and if we can't help them, get them to the resources that can help them, at the end of the day, we're thrilled.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, just the fact that you're on the show shows that you're willing to collaborate with others in order to help our city. So tell me, do you ever join together with other either nonprofits or organizations or businesses in our area to kind of come together to solve the common need that you guys are here
Every
to?
single day.
Okay, all right.
Um, we would not function, we would not be here if it wasn't for other organizations, businesses. We're a United Way partner, and that really opens up a lot of doors for us with other nonprofits, with other businesses. The Arc of Madison County, they have adults that come 2 to 3 days a week and sort clothing for us.
Wow.
Restaurant Federal Credit Union, 1 or 2 days a week, they come and sort clothing for us. If there's ever something we need, I have a network to call. If we're out of clothing, I can call Catholic Center of Concern or Manna House or the Care Center out in New Hope, and they'll help us out.
Yeah.
We have just a great network of things. TOC and Sports Med, they refer a lot of people to us to get medical braces. Same thing with Huntsville Hospital for medical equipment. When we work with the homeless, we work with the city of Huntsville, and we also work with First Stop to ensure that we're doing things the right way,
Yeah.
because homelessness, working with them, is kind of new to us,
Yeah.
and we don't want to be a problem in the system. We want to be genuinely helping, and we can't do everything. We've got 5 programs. We like to stick with our 5 programs, make sure they're well-oiled machines, and everybody else, they have their thing too, and we're not trying to take over the world. And we want to help where we know how to help the right way, and then we'll refer people out the other way. And so with we're about to move, I know we're going to talk about that later, but with that move, we have a lot of businesses that are coming to help us move. And we had a volunteer group a couple weeks ago through TVA, and they helped us pack a bunch of things. And a couple of the guys are coming next week to help us get our warehouse shelving down, because I haven't slept for weeks thinking about how we're going to get that warehouse shelving down and moved and reassembled, and they're going to come take care of it for us.
Yeah.
So we do not function without other groups. We have 3 full-time employees and 1 part-time. We have to have the help of people in the community, other nonprofits, businesses. It's vital to our success.
Well, do you guys have opportunities for like volunteers to get involved?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
outside of this window we're about to move, we always need clothing sorted. We go through thousands and thousands of pounds of clothes every day. On any given day, we could have 100 items of clothing come through our facility. So Our donations need to be sorted. Our clothing manager, Miss Ruth, who's been here for 28 years, she has final say on all the clothing. So we have volunteers that sort clothing, and then Miss Ruth comes in behind them and resorts the clothing to her standards.
Ah,
Yeah,
Ruth, come on,
she
get
is.
it, Ruth.
Yes, I used to say she was picky, and I have had to change it to particular because
Yeah,
she didn't like picky. But dignity is so important for
it
our
is.
clients.
Yeah.
That when you come into our clothing closets, you're not getting anything dirty or stained or worn out or smelling. If you do, it was pure by accident. We'll replace it. We don't know if our clients have the ability to wash their clothes, if they have money to buy laundry soap or running water. And so when they leave here, they're leaving with clean clothes.
Oh,
Same
that's
thing when we go to the
fantastic.
homeless camps. When they leave with those clothes are clean.
Yeah.
Dignity is so important to us, and it should be for anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Okay, so you mentioned a move. So tell us first where you're at now and now where you're headed next, just so we know.
Yeah, so we are currently on Lehman Ferry,
Okay.
3045 Lehman Ferry. We're in Suite P and Q. And
Okay.
then we are moving to 1035 Putnam Drive in Suite D1. And
Okay.
that one is important because there's also a Suite D, and we are not Suite D.
Ah, okay.
But we're going to close our office on Lehman Ferry on May 30th. And then we hope to reopen on Putnam sometime after the 4th of July, but we'll post that on our Facebook page when we get up and running.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So this Putman location, are you guys going to expand to do anything additional, or did you just need bigger space, new space? What was the reason for the move?
Well, so that's the funny thing. The place where we're at now would not allow us to re-sign our lease, and then few weeks ago they sold the building,
Oh, absolutely.
and
I'm in real
so
estate. I know it's
you
money to be
know
made right
that's how
now.
it goes.
Yeah, I get it.
And then we found the new owners want us to stay, but at this point we've signed a new lease, we've paid
Sure.
deposits. The space we're going is a little bit more expensive, and it's a little bit smaller.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Um, but that's just we've been paying well under market value for where we're at for the last 6 years. So
Right.
we knew that was likely coming. But the great thing about our new location is there's a bus stop at our building.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
that's
that's going to be
great.
great for our employees that take the bus and for our clients that come and can get on the bus. It's going to be so much easier to access us.
Absolutely. Well, hey, quick shout out to Chad at First Stop. He was one of our guests in the past, and
Yeah, I saw that
so because of Chad Refuge Church
with
specific.
Jason.
Yeah, with Jason. Yes, everybody
Yeah.
knows Jason, but specifically one of the pastors on staff there, Megan. Megan actually invited me to come and be a part of a weekly lunchtime just hangout with the folks that are coming in First Stop every day. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of the folks that come in First Stop are coming from the homeless camp close by.
Hmm.
And a lot of those folks have walkers and canes and wheelchairs. And it's really funny. I just had wondered, well, how is somebody who is homeless getting a hold of this kind of equipment? And it's just like a full circle thing sitting in front of you here to realize that there's organizations out here that care enough about somebody that maybe the city or the rest of us, the first world problems over here, like me, have forgotten about. And I think that's extremely cool that somebody can be down in life to a point where they're living in a tent in a city full of tents, and they have a mobility issue, or they have a need of clothing, or they have a need of some item, hygiene, whatever it may be, and that there's people like you out there who are making sure that they're not forgotten. That's extremely cool.
Absolutely.
Um,
It's so important, and it's amazing to watch how things evolve because when First Stop built their new building, they planned to have a clothing space. But as construction takes time and things grew, they didn't have the space for it. So they asked if we could use our mobile closet in that capacity. And we were
oh
like,
wow,
absolutely, we'll work it out. And then now that the city has redone the Derrick Street camp and how they're working over there, we've started going directly over there. Um, this coming Friday will be our second time to go there, and we're coordinating with Shower Up so that Shower Up's there the same time we are. So they're getting their body clean, their clothing clean, and they can
yeah.
walk away on Friday mornings feeling just good and rejuvenated and refreshed.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say this, that I'm a couple decisions away from being over there with them.
We all are.
Yeah, it's so easy for something to happen out of your control, or maybe in your control, maybe from addiction, maybe from something that you just have struggled with that causes you to be in the same position. And it's so great that there are people out there that are protecting the dignity of those who have had some failures in life that have caused them to be at a certain place like that. And I do watch the First Stop folks come in and get training and get help with assistance, just lining up things that you have to be on a computer to do, and things like that. And sometimes it's all the way to the point of maybe getting a job interview. And what do you wear when you're in that situation? So it's just great that there's places like you guys out there doing that kind of thing to help those people. So tell me, if the folks who are watching want to check out your organization, is there an online way that they can find you?
Absolutely. Sure CCYR.org is our website. Facebook.com, look up Christmas Charities Year Round. We're on there. We're the only Christmas Charities Year Round. And we're right here in Madison County. Okay. We try to keep our Facebook pretty up to date, Instagram a little bit, but definitely Facebook will have all our information.
Okay, well, I'm personally going to go on Facebook after we get done with this and click and follow you guys so I can keep up with what you're doing. So do you have any events coming up, anything like that you want to promote while you're here?
Yeah, so in the middle of our move, we host the VIP experience at Ditto Landing's Independence Day celebration, which is something we do every year.
That's a big event.
It just happens to fall during the move.
Yeah.
But it is the last Saturday in June, so that it doesn't compete with other 4th of July events. But there is live music, there's fireworks. Ditto Landing does an incredible job putting this event on. There's several thousand people that come every year. So with the VIP experience, you're going to get special parking. You're going to get the best seats for the fireworks. We provide dinner for you. We have separate bathrooms, so you're not using the city porta potty trailer. Yeah. And you'll have access to a cash bar over there. And it all benefits Christmas Charities Year Round.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so cool. Hey, and I love Christmas, so I'm glad it's in your name.
Right? It's just fun.
Well, so Beth, I really appreciate you hanging out with us and telling us more about what you do. That website is CCYR.org. Remember to jump on with me and follow them on Facebook so you can kind of keep up with what they've got going on social media, and volunteer. If there's a way that you have a few hours here and there to go and sort some clothes, Miss Ruth will be all over you, but you need to do that. You need. I say it all the time that you're not living life until you are pouring your life into someone else without anything to gain from it. And sometimes that's some glorious, spotlight situation. And sometimes it's in a room sorting through used clothing. And I'm telling you, there are so many rewards that outweigh the cost of doing something like that you definitely need to find ways to do that, because it will bring you present in the moment, and it will give you a feeling of purpose that if you're like me and you're just running a million miles an hour in life, that you might miss. And it's awesome. So Beth, thank you for being with us. You guys go and check out the website, find out how to volunteer, and follow them on Facebook, please. Thank you all for being here today and checking out the Christmas Charities Year Round, nonprofit organization that is doing big things to change the city of Huntsville and the surrounding areas. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks for tuning in to the Big Huntsville podcast. If you've enjoyed the stories, the laughs, and maybe learned a little something new about our amazing city, remember, Huntsville isn't just a place, it's a community. And we've got some of the best folks around. So if you like today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend. And if you got a local hero or story you think we should highlight, hit me up. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, I'm Carl Thomas. Keeping it fun, keeping it real, and always keeping it big here in Huntsville. Catch you later.